Having access to legal counsel for ordinary events is nice, but what if the unexpected occurs? A good legal plan, just like a good health plan or auto coverage, will not only provide access to services, but access to services at an emergency level when necessary.
We came up with a concept or an idea to give people access to lawyers 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, wherever they might be in emergency situations. If we're out there being detained and we're being asked questions and maybe the possibility of being taken to jail, right then we'd like to be able to talk to a lawyer. So we came up with a service to where you can do exactly that.
This particular time we were on our way out of town, going on a business trip, and no sooner than we got to the airport, got a phone call 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, a hysterical teenager shouting that the security was following her out of the mall, and that they came up upon her, snatched her purse, took her purse, dumped it, and accused her of shoplifting. And she had nothing in her purse. She was hysterical and frantic, humiliated in front of everybody in the mall. So she calls me, and she's yelling and hollering. I'm telling her to calm down. It's nothing I can do. Call your attorneys. And that she had her legal shield in her pocket. And so at that time, we finally got her to call the attorneys. She called them. They calmed her down. They talked to the security at the mall, and they walked her to her car, and they were very apologetic.
I got a call one night about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. A young man, he was about 23, 24 years old. He'd been stopped by the police because he had neon running lights on his car. So I took the call, and I ran down the hall, so I didn't wake up my wife. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. And he said, look, they've stopped me for neon running lights. They want to search my car. And I said to him, okay, have you been drinking? He said, no. I said, are there drugs in the car? He said, no. But he was very nervous, and as an attorney, the first thing you don't want to do is consent to a warrantless search, to a search without probable cause. So I said to him, okay, let me talk to the officer. So he hands the phone to the officer, and I said, officer, you've stopped this young man for neon lights. He goes, yeah. I said, that's illegal? He said, where did you go to law school? You don't know that? I said, look, when I went to law school, they taught me about important things like contracts and murder. I said, now you tell me the probable cause for searching this car, for giving him a field sobriety test, for giving him the breathalyzer. And he said, look, I have the right to do this. I stopped him. I suspect it. I said, then good. Then you tell me how you're going to respond to the civil rights case we're going to file after the warrantless search. This is a violation of his constitutional rights. I said, now give me back the phone and let me instruct my client. So I got the kid on the phone. He was a young man. He was terrified. I said to him, look, I've already told the officer I'm not consenting to the search, but you have to be the one to tell him that you're not going to consent to the search, you're not going to take a field sobriety test, and you're not going to take the breathalyzer. At that point, the young man sounded kind of distracted, and I heard him say, thank you. And I said, what's going on? He said, the cop just gave me back my license. He's walking back to his squad car.
Identity theft is everywhere we turn. It's the fastest growing white-collar crime in America. On the news, the radio, in the papers, credit card companies have even made entertaining commercials about it. But for someone who's experienced it, it's not a laughing matter. Chances are you've been affected by identity theft, or you know someone who has. What the commercials and ads don't tell us is how identity theft is not only about credit card numbers and online shopping. That's only the tip of the iceberg.
One of the biggest problems today for consumers across North America is the concept that's hard to understand. It's a crime called identity theft, where someone steals your identity. And it's hard to understand until you become a victim of it, and then you understand that your life is literally turned upside down. Prepaid Legal offers a very unique coverage. And speaking as a former Attorney General, I know that Prepaid Legal can do for its members what the Attorney Generals of America would like to do, but cannot do because they don't have the staff to help these individuals one by one by one by one. And that's where the coverage that Prepaid Legal offers in identity theft is unique and special, and I think worth having.
This problem has really only developed in the last 5 years, and people are really racing to understand it. You know, you never heard about it 5 years ago, and today both the state and federal government are passing laws at a dizzying pace. But there's no amount of laws that are going to prevent this from you being a victim of this. The thieves will continue to move and transform to respond to those new laws. Identity theft is becoming it's more growing problem every day, and it's transforming just on a regular basis. And there's really no one single product that can handle all of parts of identity theft. And so what I've seen through my research and looking is that you need a suite of products to handle that. Credit monitoring is by far the best way to determine early whether or not you have a problem with identity theft. Once you determine that you do have a problem, you really need to take advantage of full restoration, because you really want to have a professional to fix the problem. Taking care of it yourself is usually a very long and arduous process, and most people really have no idea where to start. And regardless of what the case is, you're probably going to need access to an attorney, and often in multiple jurisdictions or specialties. This is because several of the types of identity theft, you absolutely require an attorney to fix the problem. Prepaid Legal Services are in conjunction with Crowe Background America, is the one product I have seen that combines this suite of products in a single package and is responsive to all 5 areas of identity theft before, during, and after the crime, and is still flexible enough to be able to respond as new areas of identity theft arise.
The reality is, life's not fair. Not everyone is honest, and bad things happen. But when they do, don't face them alone. Whether it's a simple conflict with an auto repair, a faulty product, or helping you deal with the tragedy of identity theft. With a legal service plan and identity theft coverage, you'll have power, confidence, and peace of mind. Access to the system is the key. That's why wealthy people are willing to pay a lot of money to have it. Justice for all can and should be a reality for all. Prepaid Legal Services Life Events Legal Plan can help that happen at a price you can afford for you and your family. I hope you enjoyed this documentary today. As the former Attorney General of Mississippi, I believe the challenge of making justice for all a reality in North America is being addressed by Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated. Because of the great need for the services offered by Prepaid Legal and the growing public awareness due to programs just like this one you just watched, Prepaid Legal is looking for people to help tell the prepaid legal story. This incredible story is over 35 years in the making, and over 1.5 million families are already covered. But there are millions of others who need it and don't even know it exists. If you're interested in helping others and want to enjoy the independence and freedom of being your